Central Tel Aviv. Well, Eric Mandel is the founder and director of the Middle East Political Information Network and the senior editor for security at the Jerusalem Report. Thanks for being with us, Eric. I mean, Hamas have basically laid their cards down now, haven't they, and said you won't see any of the hostages unless there's a permanent ceasefire. Israel can't just end the war, can it?
No. Well, it's not.
Can it?
It's not an either or. If Israel wants to see every one of its hostages back, it should be demanding that we make whatever kind of deal it is, that everybody, not these piecemeal deals, and have Hamas dictate the terms of what's going on. Hamas is manipulating Israel. It's manipulating the international community. And there's really, other than the United States, I don't believe anybody else really cares about Israel's long-term existential interests. Israel's long-term existential interests right now are about defeating Hamas. But the country has had a wound, and I say this as somebody who cares as the indispensable ally for America about it, but I'm not an Israeli. Mm-hmm. The most important thing for America is for Israel to win this war. And if Israel has premature ceasefires or a permanent ceasefire and loses, that is a defeat for Israel. It's a defeat for the United States. But Israel, what I can see, and talking with many Israelis, is that when your country cannot protect you at your borders, when I was up north with 65,000 people have left who won't go back with Hezbollah, you have, I don't know, maybe 100,000 people around the Gaza envelope that have left. They may go back if Hamas is truly defeated, but a country is not strong and respected unless it can protect every one of its citizens right up to the last millimeter of its border, or armistice line, or wherever we're talking about. And so Israel, if they want to get these hostages back, they should be demanding all of them, because every ceasefire you give, more Israeli soldiers will die.
I mean, one way the Americans could help Israel, I suppose, and America has provided overwhelming support already, it should be said, but I mean, Qatar, non-NATO major ally of the United States, thanks to President Biden. We've just seen Ismail Haniyeh, the Hamas political chief, kind of flouncing around the Middle East, holding various meetings in Cairo, in Doha, meeting the Iranian foreign minister in Doha. Why doesn't Washington put a bit more pressure on Qatar?
So, first of all, I think Israelis should thank President Biden for giving Israel as long a leash as it has been given. So before we have some constructive criticism, I think not only this president but other presidents have given Qatar too much leeway. Why? Because they not only host terrorist groups, and not just Hamas, Taliban, Al-Qaeda, they fund them. And why has Qatar had this spell over the United States? Because we have a very important air base there, Al Udeid. We have a command center there, but it is not indispensable. What I tell the Senate when they want to listen is that we have leverage over Qatar. Qatar, if they didn't have that air base, would be vulnerable to Iran. We should basically say we could move that base to the Emirates.
There are other Gulf countries which would be happy to
the Emirates will build it for the United States, 1, 2, 3. There are proposals for it. So we need to take and rebalance the relationship with Qatar. And when this is all over, the Qataris cannot host or fund radical Islamism. They are one of the big problems. And I was with the managing editor of Al Jazeera in Doha not too many months ago. It's claiming they're independent of Qatar. Unfortunately, they're not. And they are profoundly anti-Western, anti-American, and anti-Israel.
All right.
And they're controlled by Qatar.
Yeah, absolutely. Eric, thank you for the moment. Well, the UN Security Council is set to meet